So people make these decisions. Okay, what do we got? Good week of practice. I'm interested to see how our guys bounce back. I mean, two tough losses where you feel like there's some things you didn't do clean enough that you need to get better at, and we need to learn from the experiences. Again, I get excited every Saturday to watch our guys play and get better. So it's just another opportunity. I told them today they got 4 guaranteed opportunities left, this is one big one. We got 2 left at home and 2 on the road. And, I'm looking forward to watching them play against a good Syracuse team that's, it's good on offense, defense, and special teams. They play hard. Questions?
Pat, on Monday, you said you're going to maybe switch it up at practice. What did that look like?
It looked good. I liked what we did. You're always looking for something to just change up. And, we do a water break and then we went right to our ACC period. And it was good. On Tuesday, the defense got after the offense. I wasn't happy with the offense. And then on Wednesday, the offense came back, and competed. And, it's just coming down to playing the best football in that fourth quarter. We got to step up in the fourth quarter. So, I don't know if it'll make a difference. It's just a mental thing, but we focused more on that, and we'll see if it works.
Matt, what's different about Sean Tucker this year? You guys handled him pretty well last year, but he's obviously grown as a player.
Yeah, I mean, he's working on his passing game for the league, I guess. They're just throwing him more balls. And again, maybe they'll run it, 35 times and hand it off to him, but just doesn't seem that's what they want to do. But they're getting his touches in the passing game. So he's going to line up opposite the tight end a lot. The tight end's going to be on one side over here, and he's going to be on this side. He's running a lot of swing routes and different routes. And we're going to have tackle in space, where last year we tackled him in the box and fit gaps and all that. There'll be, more gaps out there. There'll be, in space. We have to tackle well in space when he gets the ball, out there. That's kind of what they do this year.
Are there special things that you guys have done to sort of prepare for how he moves in space, or is there?
Hey, there's only so many things. We can put 2 guys out there, and all of a sudden, then you got to worry about quarterback draw. So, when he's catching the ball in space, you got to play football. You have to be detailed in your drops and your matches, whatever they may be, whatever the coverage is, and the quarterback's got to look it off and go, I can't throw it to that guy because he's covered. And that's, we don't really want him to throw it to that guy, because they throw it to him, then you got to tackle him. Wide receivers are different. Receivers are not running backs when they catch the ball, but at least most of them. So different deal when you're tackling a tailback in space.
What other tangible things are they doing this year that's different from what they've done in the past?
I think the offense is all totally different. I mean, it's Coach Anai's, it's his offense. Although there are a couple plays where they arc release their offensive tackle and run bubbles, which they've done in the past, and they kind of brought it up. So Coach Babers is still in there saying, hey, I got to play for you. They line up 2 receivers in a boundary and arc release the tackle to go block the corner. So we've worked on that quite a bit this week, which they did back in that 70-point game a long time ago. Remember, that was one of the issues. We never saw it on tape. So they brought it back up on tape, but I think Coach Anai must like it. So he's run it a few times, and wouldn't be surprised if we see that, just to see how we defend it. We've seen it 2 years in a row. 1 year we got killed with it. The next year, we defended pretty good. But we'll see that, whether they throw it to arc release bubble or they run it, which I can see them running it inside based on what we did last time.
Pat Servassier is facing his hometown team again, and the story of how you discovered him and recruited him is pretty unique with the dunk. If it weren't for that video, would things be different today?
There's no question. He probably wouldn't be playing linebacker for us. Luckily, we had a scholarship available at that time, and that was a good visit down in his high school, his prep school down in South Jersey. But things happen for a reason, and we're fired up to have him.
And obviously,
Is that the first you heard that story?
No, I've heard it. It's just
obviously a semifinalist for the Butkus Award. How far has he come on? What really sticks out to you about him as a linebacker?
It's Servassier Dennis's deal at the linebacker is just his instincts and his athletic ability. I mean, he's got great instincts as a linebacker. The next level someday means he's going to play outside, he's going to play middle linebacker, whatever it is. He's just really smart, and he's a football player, and he can blitz. He's one of our better blitzers, so if you're going to blitz someone, you want to blitz him, depending on what the blitz is. And he's a football player. That's what he is. He's a smart football player, too. His intelligence, it's ridiculous. He's really smart.
Pat, you talked a lot about the fourth quarter this week. Your players did too. How possible is it to simulate kind of the exhaustion and the pressure of a game like fourth quarter in practice?
It's hard. I mean, we hope they're not that exhausted. I take that back. I mean, sometimes I think practice is harder than games. I mean, if you ask the players, they would say that because they're They play, maybe it's the second half, I think we had 12, 13 play drives. So those are, but, there's probably, even when we go scrimmages in the summer, scrimmages are easier than practice. Because there's so much individual, and the kids get exhausted in individual. So, comes down to execution. It's more of that. It's not that, I don't know if we get tired in the fourth quarter. I don't know what it would be, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a matter of exhaustion or tired. It's just focus. There's a lot going out there. There's a lot of things these guys got to know, and you got to have complete focus, laser focus to get those details late in the game. And just kind of daydream for a minute. You're going to get beat.
Is it, you think sometimes it's nerves and just like situational football, sometimes some guys respond differently when it's all on the line?
Maybe. I mean, that could be. I mean, obviously nerves play a part in everything. And everybody, reacts differently to how it's going. Fourth quarter, okay, we're down by 4, we're up by 4, whatever it may be. I know this, our offense feeds off our defense when they make a play. So we got to make plays on defense, and then our defense feeds off the offense when they make plays. Being up by 14 is much better than being up by 1 or down by 1, So we got to, just got to go out and execute. And some guys do get tight. Some guys don't make a play. Is it because they aren't capable? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Or is it structural? And that's what we do as coaches, is try to figure out which one it is. And we hope it's not mental.
Dustin got nominated for an award for community service. Just talk about his involvement in the community and how that impresses you and how he's able to do that so well.
Deslin's, is such an unselfish guy. His 5th down for Haiti is a big deal. He's into that. He wants to take care of his people back home. He's still got family there. So anybody out there that's interested, please help Deslin out. I think he's trying to get to 50,000, and he's just a guy that cares about other people, and that's what you better have. You better have a loving team that cares about other people, not just themselves. And kind of goes into the we, not the me part of who we are, who we try to be. But he's just a tremendous kid. I mean, you sit down and talk with him, it's just like, that guy will do anything for anybody. And again, it's not just that, the 5th down deal. He does it all during the summer. I get texts from our, life skills and Celeste saying, just pictures out of the blue, like, look what Deslin's doing today on a Sunday at noon. Like, what is he, it's just like, well, there was nothing planned. It's just he's out there helping. He's not trying to get, he's not trying to get an award. It's just that's who he is, and it's tremendous.
Pat, how difficult can it be when you're game planning for 2 different quarterbacks? You don't know who's going to start. How do you divide that time in scouting and even just with scout team looks? I'm sure you have quarterbacks who want to give a different look depending on the different guy. How do you divvy that stuff up?
It's hard. Number one, you only have so many scout team quarterbacks, and it's really, you're not going to, for the most part, get that guy to do this and this other guy to do that. The other thing I'd say is the offense is not going to change a lot. If you had a big stiff guy in the pocket compared to an athlete, we'd be able to get that. But they're both athletic guys, so they both can move around and they both throw a nice ball. So it's not like there's this big difference. It's not like Jerry's in the pocket all of a sudden, and Chris is in the pocket. It'd be 2 different guys back there, mainly based on the age, right? But
Jerry's got a cannon.
He's got a cannon, but
Yeah.
but you know what? We know where he's going to be, and he ain't moving very fast.
Okay.
So we'll be able to hit him.
versus Lamar
Okay,
Jackson.
at least we know he's not going to scramble on us. But now Peak, he's an athlete. He's got a tattoo right there on his left arm, and he might be able to go.
All right.
The tattoo does it, huh? That's what gets
I don't know.
over
You
the
look skinny today.
What, yes, I appreciate that. What kind of conversations have you had with MJ about decision making on punts and kind of maybe what some of the rules are back there, what he needs to do?
Yeah, it's the same thing with penalties a couple of years ago. Had conversations with him. Everybody wants to go make a play. He comes off the sideline like, Coach, I thought I was going to make a play. It's like, listen, take what they're giving you. Don't try to be the hero on one play and then be the zero. Because you can go from hero to, you're asking me this question today, it's like, how's his decision making being back there? He's just trying to make a play. I thought I could get to the edge, okay? But we got to be smart. They got guys on scholarship too. They got speed, and if it doesn't work out, you hurt us. So don't hurt the team. Take what they give you, and play it that way. So we've had those conversations.
So you guys have struggled to have consistency in the passing game. You saw some sparks last week, but now you're facing the #1 passing defense in the ACC. What do you guys have to do to find some chemistry against that group?
We got to go make plays, right? We got to execute. That's what it comes down to. And it won't be easy. They got a good defense. They're good versus the run. They're gonna change it up. They're gonna blitz you. They're gonna bring all kinds of stuff. They bring a lot of crazy stuff. To be honest with you, and we've got to pick it up offensively, not only in the run game but in the passing game. That's probably one of the things they do. A lot of different stuff. So we got Keaton's got to be on, and the receivers got to be where they're supposed to be, and then they got to make plays when they get the opportunities.
Pat, you feel like these guys are excited to play another home game? It's been a while since they got to play at Acrisure.
I think our guys are excited to play any game, anywhere, and I think being at home is just another bonus. I think probably there's less travel. You don't have to worry. You know where you are. The last 2 weeks are hard. When you get scheduled for 2 8 o'clock games on the road, get home 3 o'clock in the morning. I think that's what they're excited about. When the game's over, I'm hoping they're looking for that the victory lights on the cathedral lit up.
You see Rodney getting more playing time for even Izzy this week?
I think so. You want to do it? You want to put Rodney in there more?
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay, we'll give Rodney more carries this weekend, Terry. It's on you.
He scores a touchdown.
I'm giving you credit after.
Point up to the press box.
We'll point to you. Your call. We'll give him more carries.
Coach, Aranda Gadsden has kind of stepped up as Syracuse's clear #1 receiving threat. Based on what you saw from him last year, I know he was hurt a little bit, but what's kind of separated him this year, you think?
He's the go-to guy, him and Sean Tucker. He's a good route runner. He's got a big catch radius. They like to throw inside routes, so a lot of his catches are going to be inside the hashes. A lot of in-breaking routes when you see him in the slot. They line him up all over the place. They'll line him the boundary #1, field #1. Both slot receiver sides, but a lot of in-breaking cuts that we've got to do. Our linebackers got to do a good job of protecting the inside and safety. We just got to do a good job on him. But he's a good football player. He's just he's like a big, tall, athletic guy that can catch the ball.
We saw a couple of times against North Carolina where your linebackers were in position. It seemed like they were giving up inside leverage, trying to take away an outside route. That's why with Bengali Kamara. How do you guys work to make sure that they're working in tandem with the rest of the defense more? Because these are different units. I know that they're all one defense, but still they do a lot of individual work. How do you get them to sort of understand, like, hey, I got this position because I know Eric Hallett's got this position?
Yeah, I mean, just like I just explained with, we know what they're going to do. We know, there'll be some outbreaking routes, and we got to be on that. I mean, for an outside backer, if the guy goes, out, we got to help there. We got to help if he goes in. But I think sometimes they're so conscious of getting their hands on a guy and getting, they got to protect the inside this week for sure. And it's been focused. We have team periods. That's what we do. Is play the coverage, and whether it's 7-on-7s, pass skill, it's what we do. They got to go out and execute. We can talk about all we are. They got to get lined up quickly. If you get lined up too wide, then the guy beats you inside. So it's perfect alignment. It's where it starts. I mean, you can go back and look at that tape. Like how are they aligned? Are they lined up too wide, too tight? Those are all things that play in part of the coverage.
Your secondary has a bunch of proud, experienced guys. Do you think maybe the fourth quarter at North Carolina is a motivator for them so that not to happen again?
I think so. I mean, again, you got to take every week as they go, Jerry. Again, not taking anything away from North Carolina, but they were not happy after the game, so they got pride about who they are and what they do back there, and I think they take it personal. I can tell you that. So we'll see how it transfers to the field Saturday at 3:33.
When you say that they take it personal, what did you see this week that made you think that?
It's just the way they practice, but you got to go play it in the game. But I know they took it personal after the game too in the locker room. I know it was personal. So they were all talking to each other like, this kid, they were down, and it's not what they want to be. It's not who they want to be. Whichever unit should be like that.
In 2020, I remember you guys lost to Notre Dame. It was a rough point, and you guys found a way to kind of rally. I think you won 3 of your last 4 that season. There were a bunch of guys that are on this roster that were on that roster as well, younger admittedly, but they were guys that saw that. Have you seen any response that's similar to how you felt that group was as far as like, hey, let's draw a line in the sand?
Not really. I mean, I don't think you can compare 2020. I think if I recall, Joey Young was our starting quarterback against Miami and Notre Dame. And maybe the it factor was when number 8 came back. Okay. I mean, was it the rest of the guys? I mean, it's who's playing, who's executing, who's making plays. I'd probably attribute it more to that than we drew the line in the sand and they had enough.
What's the difference between Garrett Schrader and Del Rio Wilson? They're 2 quarterbacks as you're preparing for them this week.
I don't have the size on me, but Schrader's 6'5", and the other guy's probably 6'1", 6'2". So I'd say that's the biggest difference. Other than that, they both throw a nice ball. I think the quarterback coach and offense coordinator have done a great job doing what they do, and the offense doesn't change. So I just think, I don't think it matters who plays quarterback for them, to be honest with you. The offense is going to stay the same. I don't think they're going to change a whole bunch, and I think they got faith in both of them throwing the ball.
Anything else?
And they both look the same throwing the ball. I mean, they know where to go with the ball. I think they're keeping it very simple and saying, hey, throw it to that guy, number 19, throw it to 34. And then every once in a while, go take a shot and throw it to number 7 or throw it to number 17 or 82. I mean, they got a bunch of good players.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks,